Dr. Jared Bagley again with today's critical concept, coping mechanisms. Fortunately, over thousands of generations, your body has developed incredible physiological coping mechanisms for adapting to stress. Unfortunately, this genetic adaptation didn't involve adapting to chronic or long-term stress, with one exception. Up until the last 200 years or so, the only true chronic or long-term stress that man ever knew was famine. As a consequence, man adapted beautifully to this periodic lack of food by developing an uncanny ability to store fat. The very same stress hormones that are released under the prolonged duress of starvation course through our bloodstream when we experience prolonged mental stress in our modern world. These hormones change our global physiology and create a derangement of our metabolism. In other words, psychological stress promotes fat storage, obesity, high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, elevated blood fats, and a compromised immune function. Specifically, a hormone called cortisol is released in times of stress. Among other things, cortisol promotes the accumulation of the intra-abdominal or visceral fat called omentum, also known as stress gut. The body's creation of belly fat was originally intended for sustenance during the long, cold winter months when game was harder to come by. Today, we face a veritable triple whammy with drive-through burger joints, a relatively sedentary lifestyle, and an abundance of mental stress. This unnatural environment has led to an epidemic of the dreaded stress gut. Beyond aesthetics, omentum is considered one of the strongest predictors of heart disease and heart attacks. This fat actually increases our blood pressure by pressing up against our kidneys, influencing the hormones that regulate blood pressure. Ironically, this same brilliant hormonal mechanism that helped man adapt and overcome the chronic stressors of yesterday is at the center of the #1 killer of man today. So what's a human to do? Healthy people develop coping mechanisms. It has long been recognized that journaling your life's experiences is one of the most effective strategies to manage stress. Each week, I'm going to ask you to engage your thoughts onto paper, answering thought-provoking and insightful questions to gain a greater understanding of how you think and the consequences of not only your thoughts, but your reactions and how they affect all areas of your life, your health, and your relationships. At the crux of almost everyone's mental stress are the demands placed on our limited resources, namely our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. The world seems to have an insatiable appetite for these things. Every day it seems that there are more demands and fewer resources. In the economy of our lives, we must recognize the need for strategies that protect our limited resources. If we are to truly be happy and find peace of mind, we must strive to master managing these 4 assets. For example, in the area of money or personal finances, creating a peace of mind account is one of those coping strategies that lead to a desired outcome. Well, people don't necessarily experience any less stress. They simply develop better strategies and coping mechanisms for dealing with it. This series of emails will empower you to choose healthier perspectives and responses to stress, as well as offering specific strategies and mechanisms for mitigating the effects of stress and reducing its occurrences. Life is full of surprises, so get ready for them. And thanks again for helping me to be the doctor that makes people stronger.